The internet was, for a long time, a safe haven for people to be anonymous, but we all know that times are changing. Considering Facebook's instances on real names and the unmasking of big Reddit trolls and the fact that the NSA is probably looking over your shoulder right now, the internet is also rife of misunderstandings, as it's difficult to distinguish sarcasm and blocks of text. These aspects combine to seriously backfire on foolish, but probably not criminal people that are in this list. This is the top 10 internet jokes that got people arrested. Number 10. Paul Chambers takes offense to snow. In early January 2010, heavy snow threatened to ruin flight plans for Doncaster Airport, and local Paul Chambers was not very pleased of this. He wrote on Twitter, "Crap, Robin Hood Airport is closed. You've got a week and a bit to get your shit together. Otherwise, I'm blowing the airport sky high." 1 week after this tweet, South Yorkshire police arrived to the tweeter's workplace with a printout of the offending tweet. In the first case of its kind in the United Kingdom that's been recorded, Chambers was arrested under the Terrorism Act, interrogated, and banned from the airport for life. According to Chambers, the policeman who interviewed him had no idea what Twitter even was. Detectives took his laptop, iPhone, and computer and put him on bail. He was finally cleared after 2.5 years when Crown Court judges said the tweet was clearly meant as a joke. It was definitely an ill-advised joke, but it certainly deserved the reaction that it got. Number 9. Justin Carter makes a ridiculous threat. Justin Carter was arguing with friends on Facebook about the video game League of Legends when someone jokingly called him sick in the head. He humored them saying, I quote him, "I'm fucked in the head, alright. I think I'ma shoot up a kindergarten school and watch the blood of the innocent rain down and eat the beating heart of one of them." An obvious joke, if not particularly distasteful claim that was followed by Justin saying he was just kidding. However, a Canadian woman didn't take the joke too well and called the police. Justin was arrested on Valentine's Day of 2013 and was sent to jail. His father made a Change.org petition to free him in November of 2013, and the case continues to this day as of this recording, with the now 19-year-old facing a felony terrorism charge after being bailed out for $500,000 by an anonymous donor. Justin's attorney, Don Flory, said that his 10 years of practicing law, he had never seen bail set that high, even for murderers and rapists, proving that society isn't a joke. Worse still, defense lawyers say the police deliberately misquoted Justin's comments and lied in their warrant. They were alleged to have changed the wording of his Facebook comments and said they matched Carter's driver's license photo to his profile picture on Facebook when Carter doesn't even have a driver's license. But hey, at least the kindergartens around the country are safe from sadistic threats. Number 8. Zai Zhangboing parodies Final Destination. Zai Zhangboing, or at least that's what I think his name is a Chinese blogger and resident of Beijing. He joked about a parody of the Final Destination movies under Twitter handle @Starver after commemorating the country's strict controls on social media. He said, #spoiler tweet, #proceed with caution, Final Destination 6 is being released, the Great Hall of the People suddenly collapsed, and only 7 of the 2,000 plus people attending the meeting survive. Yet, each dies one by one in a bizarre fashion afterwards. It is God's game or death's wrath. How did the mysterious number 18 open the gate to hell? Shocking debut on November 8th in theaters worldwide. That was his tweet. Zai was confirmed to be in the detention center for a microblog posting and containing false information on the internet. He then went radio fucking silent. Concerned friend investigated and found that he and his laptop had disappeared. Family members told her that they had been seized by police officers who accused him of terrorism. A petition in support of him was signed by prominent Chinese activists. It's well known that the Chinese government monitors Twitter even though it's blocked there. So this is not the first case of its kind. In 2010, human rights activist Cheng Xinjiang, or whatever his name is, was sentenced to a year in a labor camp after retweeting a tweet that supposedly disrupted social order. Because China is a hell of a place to live. Number 7. Dutch teenager threatens African Airlines. In a case that took social media by storm, a 14-year-old Dutch girl called Sarah and known as Queen Dematrix or whatever, kids make weird names these days, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. That's her name on Twitter, go look it up, was arrested by Rotterdam police after a tweet that threatened an Al-Qaeda attack on American Airlines. The tweet said, quote, "At American Airlines, hello, my name is Abreem and I'm from Afghanistan. I'm part of Al-Qaeda and on June 1st, I'm going to do something really big. Bye." The American Airlines account responded quickly saying this, quote, they take these threats very seriously, and that her IP address would be forwarded to the FBI. She subsequently pleaded with the airline over Twitter, saying it was my friend, not me, trying to cover her ass, and I'm so scared. I'm just a 14-year-old white girl. I'm not a terrorist, because it's not racist to point out that she's white, before turning herself into local police. Rotterdam police later confirmed on the Twitter account that she had been arrested. Her Twitter account quickly gained over 30,000 followers, leading Sarah to consider auctioning her Twitter handle with bids starting at $500 before the account was deleted. She was the subject of internet-wide ridicule, but other Twitter users didn't learn from her mistakes and sent dozens of similar threats in protest. Number 6. British tourists to, quote, destroy America. Oh boy, this is a doozy. Tourists Lee Van Bryan and Emily Button was arrested in Los Angeles for 2 tweets from Bryan's account that read, quote, "Free this week for quick gossip / prep before I go and destroy America," and, quote, "3 weeks today, we're totally in LA, fucking people off on Hollywood Boulevard and digging Marilyn Monroe up." Armed guards took him literally and searched his bag for shovels and spades, thinking he was actually intending to dig up Marilyn Monroe's grave with Bunting as his lookout. The tweet was a reference to Family Guy, while the tourists explained that, in context, their use of the word destroy just meant party, because what fucked up world do they live in? And they claimed that it just meant party in British slang. A full body search was done on the two, and they were put in a prison cell and subsequently denied admission into the United States and forced to return home. Presumably, even if they were allowed to return to the United States in the future, they wouldn't be too thrilled about doing so. America! Number 5. Time bomb at a Pink concert. An Australian teenager was on his way to a Pink concert when he tweeted, quote, "At Pink, I'm ready with my bomb. Time to blow up. # Rod Laver Arena, bitch." The tweet was in reference to her song Time Bomb, which authorities were presumably not familiar with when they decided to use the boy's Twitter profile picture to find him in a crowd of 12,000 waiting fans and force him out of the arena. At first, police intended to be lenient with him, but took more serious measures at the arena's urging. According to a witness in the stadium, up to 20 security guards approached him. The boy was then arrested and charged with being a public nuisance. His thoughts on the contextual misunderstanding, he said, quote, "It was meant to be about drop the effects, the music, and everything else. Just drop it all. I really wasn't intending to bomb a building." Number 4, Ross Lauren doesn't like Scottish people. Yet another 19-year-old dumbass arrested for a social media post. This one, a Twitter troll from Sunderland, believed to be Ross Lauren, who was arrested in Scotland for making a joke about a garbage truck crash in Glasgow that killed 6 people. He allegedly said, quote, "So a bin lorry," because apparently that's what they call garbage trucks in Scotland, "has crashed into 100 people in Glasgow. Probably the most trash it's ever picked up in one day." That definitely seems like something a 19-year-old dumbass would say to try to sound cool and edgy on the internet. But he handed himself into the police after complaints about the tweet. Lauren posted the offensive tweet only an hour after the incident. Too soon, motherfucker. And furious Twitter users alerted the police after the tweet went viral. Police confirmed that he had been arrested on suspicion of making a malicious communication, but had been bailed pending what would presumably be a very silly investigation in court case. Number 3, Josh Pillett invokes Columbine. Mississippian, good old Mississippi, Josh Pillett was arrested in October 2012 for making threats while playing RuneScape. Who the hell plays RuneScape anymore? Another player had told him to kill himself, and he responded that he not only would kill himself, but he'd take the whole school with him too, like Columbine. Once he mentioned Columbine, and for those of you unaware, was one of the biggest school shootings in U.S. history, the other player said knock knock as if he knew what was coming next. Police raided his home a few days later and arrested him on making terroristic threats. He remained in jail for 9 months and pleaded guilty in hopes of an easier sentence, as it was thought that he could face up to 10 years in jail and a fine of $250,000. That kind of worked, as Pillett was sentenced to 6 years in prison, including time in a mental health treatment facility. According to his mother, he didn't own any weapons, and his teachers and doctors said he was no threat to the public. Teachers were even willing to testify on his behalf, but he still faced the whole, 6 years thing. Number 2, Cameron D'Ambrose's rap career gets put on hold. 18-year-old aspiring rapper, because there's a lot of them, Cameron D'Ambrose was arrested in May of 2013 for posting some of his rap lyrics on Facebook, which included the phrase, "Fuck a Boston Bomic, wait till you see the shit I do, I'ma be famous for rapping and beat every murderer charge that comes across me." He was held without bail until a grand jury hearing, and while he admitted that his rhymes were pretty weak, that they hardly required jail time. Prosecutors wanted to charge the teenager, though, with threats to make a bomb or to carry out a vehicle hijacking, crimes that can mean up to 20 years in prison. The police engaged in some shady behavior also, and when talking to the media, they didn't mention that he was an aspiring rapper at all. Without that detail, his status just seemed like a regular threat instead of music lyrics. And when searching for the evidence against his character, prosecutors brought up a fight he had with his sister when he was 11 years old. Good old American justice system. The police didn't seem to understand Facebook either, as the department's blog said that the lyrics were posted in a Facebook phone message. It also said that the lyrics weren't directed at anyone or anything in particular, but on the weight of all this non-evidence nonsense, a grand jury decided to indict him anyway, but the charges were later dropped on inconsistent evidence. Number 1, James Buse is bad at sarcasm. James Buse, a Wisconsin teacher, was arrested on November 29, 2007 for a blog comment sarcastically praising the perpetrators of the 1999 Columbine High School shooting. The arrest came after owners of the political blog Boots and Sabers gave the name of the commentator to the police, as Buse had commentated under the name The Observer. The comment said that the teachers' salaries were too high for the people and for the work that they do, and that, quote, "We've got a lot of kids in the back who have had a lazy, no good teachers and are fighting back. Kids like Eric Harris and Dylan Colbert. They knew that they had to deal with the overpaid teacher union thugs, and they did what they had to do to change society." Basically referencing that Columbine was an okay situation. Since he was a teacher himself and past president of a teachers union, it's likely that he was just being sarcastic about the entire thing. He was put on paid leave during the incident, presumably as a compromise between recognizing how absurd his arrest was and acknowledging how stupid his comment was. He was to be charged with disorderly conduct and unlawful use of computerized communication systems. However, he was released on $350 bail after spending just 1 hour in a Wisconsin county jail. Prosecutors declined to file charges against him, presumably because they had many, many better things to do, like go after child rapists and whatnot, instead of, arresting somebody who is part of a teachers union and sarcastically made a joke about teachers unions. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy what you see, please like, favorite, and subscribe, and comment on what other lists you would like to see in the future. But again, thank you guys for watching. You guys enable us to do this shit. So thank you. Thank you, and have a good one.